जय श्री माताजी। उपस्थित सभी साधकों का हम स्वागत करते हैं। सामूहिक ध्यान की शुरुआत हम सामूहिकता में कुंडलिनी चढ़ाकर बंधन लेकर करेंगे। सामूहिकता में 3 महामंत्र और उसके बाद श्री गणेश मंत्र का पठन करेंगे। सामूहिक चित्त को केंद्रित करेंगे सहस्त्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी कृपावंत होकर हमें निर्विचार अवस्था प्रदान कीजिए। इसी निर्विचार अवस्था में हम श्री माताजी की अमृतवाणी को ग्रहण करेंगे।
Modi must have told you very clearly about how to grow in Sahajayoga, because he is one of them who has really taken very positive steps to see that he grows. Now, one has to understand one simple point about realization is that just mere awakening of the Kundalini is not sufficient. That's just the beginning. You get your realization, but you must become the tree. You have to grow. You have to become. If you cannot grow, then you have not achieved what you wanted to be. And you grow very fast with meditation and with understanding about meditation. Now, one of the few hurdles that we have, that I have seen it, that are innately built in Sahajayoga itself. One of them is that you get it spontaneously so easily that you take it for granted. This is in the pattern of it only innately built. You see, whatever you get so easily, you just take it for granted. But the another side of it is like that when you have your eyes, you don't know the value of your eyes. You take it for granted. But when you don't have them, then you know the value of eyes. It's like that. So, when you lose vibrations and when you get out of Sahajayoga, then you start feeling much more lost. And then you come back to Sahajayoga again. Like a person becomes rich, he enjoys the riches, and then you make him poor, then he feels it more. So this is the correcting point. But it is very true that Sahajayoga has this thing innately built in itself, that it all happens very spontaneously and you get it for doing nothing at all. So maybe so many of you may lose it because you might find that it is just you've got it because of something. I've also known of people, they get vibrations and they say, now it's all right, I don't need Sahajayoga, I'm on my own. Again they are back like bad pennies with some troubles and some problems, and then they go ahead. Now I would say that Modi is one of those first 12 people who got realization. After 2 years I worked on them, while you got realization in such a short time. 2 years I worked on 25 people, out of which 12 got realization. You can imagine, 2 years. As I told you, in London I worked on 6 people for 4 years to give them realization. But once a certain number of people of a particular ideologies or permutations and combinations, once they get realization, I find the rate of realization increases very fast. Like formerly, we never used to have anybody in the program who has been to any other guru. Just avoid them. Even up to the point that this Modi himself used to tell people there's no program today, no program. And they would ring me up and find out that there was program and why they were not allowed. They said, Mother, we get headaches, you see, they break our necks and they just disturb us, they are good for nothing. But now, it's very different. Once we have built up our strength of collectivity, we have so many channels, things are working out very differently. So the value that Modi would attach to his realization is much more than you would attach normally. Because as you see, first even say to have a ordinary oil lamp was a problem. So the oil lamp was very important for people. They would see to it that they would not use out all the oil, and they were so careful. But today we have no problem. We have got electricity, we take it for granted. Only when the electricity goes off, we know what is electricity is. In the same way, your realization also, when it is lost, you understand the value of it. But supposing you have just touched it and then you lose it, then you do not understand. But if you have got it, you have enjoyed it, and then you lose it, then you want it back again. So best thing is to be steadily moving towards your evolution. Now, after I go away, that's the fears people have here, that people start doubting. Said it happened with people. They started doubting. Doubting what? You are doubting yourself, is the main point. You cannot believe that you can get realization. This is the basic. You see, to me, it seems that you feel that how can you get realization? Only those who are very highly realized souls know that you are realized. They know that you have been given realization. But they also sometimes ask me, why did you give them realization? What have they done? Because you also think that, we still have to look forward to something else. How can we get realization? This is the trouble. You don't believe in yourself. That's what, you have to have confidence in yourself. And then you will have confidence in me also. Because there are so many ways by which you can verify. First of all, you can ask questions to the photograph or to me in your heart about myself, my relationship, whatever you think would be, whatever you think, put your imagination and see that what you think I could have been. Ask that question. Your vibrations will answer. Stretch your imagination to the last. What could be the last word you could think of me? You see, some people will put doubts saying that Kundalini awakening is very difficult, it's not easy. Yes, it's true. It's not easy. It's a very difficult thing for human beings. You just can't do it. It's a fact. You have to work for days with some guru in some jungle, all alone, seeing nobody, working out your chakras by chakras. Sometimes you have to starve, sometimes you have to eat, sometimes you have to breathe, you have to do all kinds of things, and then the guru can work out. But there could be someone who is somehow the master. Could be someone. Kundalini is the Holy Ghost within you. So there could be someone like that who can do the job. And that is what it is. These things put you into doubts because you can't believe it. In relation to yourself, you can't believe it. You can believe in God, you can believe in Holy Ghost, you can believe in Christ, but you cannot believe that it has any relationship with you, that you could be that great, that you could get your realization. So just feel it and enjoy it. First of all, don't think. That's why I say don't think. Because as soon as you start thinking, Mr. Thomas in you will get up and say that, hello, this cannot be self-realization. Mr. Thomas was great, you see. Christ had all the disciples, and I find all those types around, permutations and combinations. And some are Judas also, but they are rarely to be found. But there are, no doubt. And some are Thomases. And these Thomases are described as murmuring souls by Christ himself. He said these are murmuring souls, and they murmur. And one murmuring soul comes to you, another murmuring soul in you joins hands, and you start all murmuring together, start thinking. Now at that time, what have we to do on rational grounds? It's very simple. What have I done so far? I've done everything. Did I get cool breeze. Did I get my self-realization? Did I feel my own powers? Have I been able to feel myself and others? Because you are still, not fully realized, you may not be able to feel the vibrations of another person. Neither you will be able to feel your own vibrations. But there are so many people here who are realized and they can feel yours. And they can verify. Supposing they ask you, how is your father? There was one gentleman in England, he came and told me, why everybody is asking me about my father? I said, because there's one particular center that's catching. And I called a child, I said, now tell me, what is the center catching? She pointed out this one. I said, this is the center. Everybody is catching on this center, this is the father center, so they are asking you about your father. He said, yes, he's dead and he died of cancer and he had this and that. And we had to treat. For example, anorexia is a disease, can be cured by curing this center. It's such a deep knowledge and it is such a all-pervading knowledge, because once you know in a tree the sap that goes to all the leaves and all the ends of it, and if you can move with the sap, your attention can move with the sap, you can know the whole of the tree. You cannot know leaves and then know the tree. How many leaves can you count? But to know the tree, the best thing is to get to the sap. To treat a tree is best is to get to its sap, isn't it? In the same way, when you go from inside out, then you find that you know yourself and others very well. It's very simple. Even small children can do it. So the first doubt comes about yourself. Oh, this is one of them. Because there's a guru shopping going on, you see. There's a guru shopping, there's a float. You go to one guru, to another, to ESPs and what you call them, all sorts of things, mediums and all sorts of things, they do with the dead bodies or anything. All these things you have been to and you have found it. So now suddenly you have to come to a temple where you don't pay anything and you just get the blessings. So you can't believe it, you just can't believe it. It's too much to believe. This is what happens. You get confused. You are already confused, but confusion could be over by understanding that something is happening to you. Just wait and see, give it a chance. There's no way we can bind you to Sahajayoga because there's no mesmerism on. This is another innately a problem with Sahajayoga. Second problem, I should say, is that you are too free to do what you like. Absolutely free. There's no binding force except that you feel the love of your mother. Supposing you are not feeling the vibrations in your hand, there's no way of binding you down to Sahajayoga, nothing. We just advise, go ahead, it will work out, let it work out. There is no fees, there's no registration, there's no compulsion, nothing. It's your own free will. If you want to stick on, you can stick on. If you want to go away, you can go. There's no force on you of any kind. There's no registration of your names with some fees or anything. I mean, you are not bound to pay anything. If you pay something, then you feel, all right, I've paid for it, so go through it, whatever it is, good or bad. Supposing you go to see a plane, it's a horrid play, but you say, all right, I've paid for it, so let me go through it. But that you cannot do with Sahajayoga because you have not paid. There's nobody who will force you down. Nobody will go on telephoning to you, come along, please come along and all that. So the attitude has to be changed. It is I who has to give. Say there's a beautiful spot somewhere. Now that beautiful spot doesn't send an invitation card to anyone. Everybody goes there. But if you have not yet discovered the beauty of Sahajayoga in that way and have not enjoyed it fully, you will have to go again and again and see for yourself. It is a deliberation on your side, not on the side of the Sahajogis or Sahajayoga. It's not going to fall at your feet. That please come to Sahajayoga, please donate something, nothing of the kind. If you come, you are welcome. If you don't come, welcome. On the contrary, you will be surprised there's more rejection than acceptance in Sahajayoga. That's also innately built. I've seen some people who are very insincere type. They just go out of Sahajayoga like a tangent. There was a gentleman who was very troublesome to us in Bombay, and we didn't know what to do with him. And he just got transferred from there and we got rid of him. So you just go out of Sahajayoga like a tangent, and we are saved from the botheration. Because you must understand, if you have problems, if you are not all right, it's a problem for Sahajogis to correct. It's just the other way round. If you understand this, then you will understand the thing, what works out. For example, if I have to cure somebody, it's a problem for me and not the problem for the person who is sick. Now, if the tree has to grow, is the problem for the gardener, not for the tree. So the tree must see to it that it cooperates with the gardener and gets itself developed. If this understanding is developed that it is I who has to gain, it is I who has to go forward, mother has not to gain for me anything. She wants me to have all my powers manifested. She wants me to grow to it. If this attitude is developed, then you'll work hard to grow and you'll work it out. But on the contrary, you see, at the slightest pretext, if your ego stands up and says, why should I do this? To overcome this hurdle, you see, we have to build up certain stages. That's what Modi was telling me. That you first become thoughtlessly aware. See that silence is established. There are certain things that you do much later. Everybody is not allowed in there. Because truth can be only borne by people who are strong enough to bear it. That's why I'm not going to tell you who am I till you reach a certain stage. Because you cannot bear the light. That's what happened with Christ. They crucified him because they could not bear him. Human beings are like that. They can't even bear an incarnation of love. They can't even bear love. It's too much for them. Even if you give them too much love, they get upset. They get disturbed. They just can't bear it. So you have to build up yourself to come to a certain stage of understanding of Sahajayoga. It's a state which you achieve. It's a state. You are not to be certified by anyone or other, but it's a state where you will start giving realization to others. And the whole way you will be talking will be in a very different manner, as if you are completely detached. You will say it is going, it is coming. It happens. You will not say my mother must get, my father must get. You will never say like that. Because you will understand the problem of Sahajayoga is that it cannot give to anyone. Like the sunshine can shine, it is for the trees to expose themselves to the sunshine and get the advantage of it. The sunshine is not going to run after you all over to see that you get it. Do you see the point is? It will shine the whole day and you take it. But it's not that it will run after you all the time, requesting you, oh please get me, have it like that. And this is what one has to understand very clearly, that it is you who has to ask for it and not anybody is going to force on you anything. On the contrary, if anybody tries to say something more, your ego gets like that. So try to be careful. I am very happy to know that also, that in all the ego-oriented societies, I have seen that Sahajayoga works like wonders. Because first thing they see is their colossal ego. And that's a very positive point about it. Because once you start seeing this horrible balloon in you, you just start watching yourself and enjoying, oh, Mr. So and so, now get along with your ego. You see, it's a very interesting life you start leading. If your ego, you see, is a very good sign. If you cannot see your ego, then there's danger. But some can even see their superego if they are possessed. See, people see how they get possessed suddenly. Because the frequency of possession becomes very little. So that there's a big gap, you see, to see the time when you are normal. And when you get abnormal also, you can see clearly that you are abnormal. By seeing that, you start judging, oh God, I have again been caught up. I am again lost. And you come back to normal. The whole thing becomes a very beautiful understanding of the reality about yourself, and you laugh at yourself all the time. All the time you laugh at yourself and you laugh at everything and you find the whole joke going round how people are seriously indulging into nonsensical things and how it's such a big joke you are being yourself worrying about things which have no meaning, which has no significance. Like I went first to Paris and people told me, Mother, they are not going to like you very much because they believe a person who is so happy is ignorant. You should not be a happy person. You should be a crying baby. So they will believe it. They are all les miserables. You see, very unhappy people, extremely unhappy. And if you tell them you are a happy person, so they are going to be shocked at such a thing. I said, really, these les miserables, let me invalids, you see, let me do something about them. And I made them laugh so much at their miseries that they got all right. And they understood that the joy is just there. You have to just peep in your heart and you find the source of your joy. And then the whole thing vanishes into thin air. But it has to work. It has to happen. There is no quick way of doing it. In the sense that I say, all right, you give me 5 rupees or $5 Australian dollars and you get it. No, 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 no. You may give me any amount, it won't work out. It has not worked out with my own daughters. You'll be surprised. I've never forced them, I've never asked them. I have only 2 daughters. They are not realized, I'm not bothered. When they'll ask for it, they'll get it. But my 4 grandchildren are born realized. And one of the eldest ones one day very seriously said, as it is, you cannot commit mistakes, I know. But it would have been nice if you had given them realization when they were children. You see, this is what it is. That you cannot force these things on anyone. And you have to take a very detached view. You are a seeker, your mother and you are there, but they are not your responsibility. You can tell them about Sahajayoga. But if they are opposing you, let them be alone, they'll come down. When they'll see the transformation within you, they will definitely come. So leave them alone. Don't bother your heads. Just leave them alone and you will be amazed that they will see you transforming so well and acting so well, and they will change themselves and they'll come to you and ask you, how are you so much changed and transformed? You see, proof of the pudding is in seeing the pudding up there changing people. And this transformation, you'll be amazed coming into you so suddenly that you'll be amazed. But as I told you, that on the left side is a desire, or you can say the superego, the desire to do something. And the right side is the ego, which we try to sort of please and which feels happy. And the one by which we have ambitions. But in the center is the willpower to do things. And this willpower has to be increased by you. I have to do it. I have to do it. First you'll feel tired because your left heart is weak. Then I will tell you how to do it. They know how to raise your left heart if you are tired. See, most of the people these days are very tired people. They talk, they sit down, they can't, they're very tired, absolutely fagged out people. Morning till evening, what have you been doing? Nothing. Just sitting in the sun, you got tired. Just lazing out, you got tired. Why? Why did you get tired? Firstly, because you are not integrated, you are fighting within yourself. Your head is fighting your heart is fighting your liver. Secondly, you are thinking and wasting your energy. So you have to learn how to settle your heart, what has to be done to raise your heart, to make it peaceful, and how to get the energy from your spirit. Once you start doing that, your tired feeling will go away. Then your aggressiveness also will decrease, and you'll be amazed that you will just watch the whole thing. Neither you will aggress nor you will take aggression, and the whole reaction will be very different. Then everything has a meaning. Your feelings have a meaning. Supposing you have a feeling today for Poland, which is in trouble, all of you should ask just now, Mother, solve the problem of Poland, because I have no desires. You see, I am desireless. You have to ask. And it works. You'll be amazed because your attention is enlightened now. It just works. You have to desire for it and it works. You have to work for it and it works. And so many miraculous things people will tell you, just believe them. That's all true. Money problem solved because of Lakshmi Tattva being. Financial problem solved. Social problem solved. Family problem solved because you are solved. See, in relation to you, everything seems problematic. When your problems are solved, everything is solved. It's so simple as that. We have to solve ourselves, and it is solved through the awakening of the Kundalini. Now I would like to have some questions from you, and then I would like you to go into groups with the Sahajogis and talk to them on intimate level. And also you must tell me your problems. If you have any intimate problems, you can talk to me also. But best is to talk to each other. I would like Warren to also see to it that he organizes all these groups properly. But I would love to have some questions from you about Sahajayoga now.
How can one, I don't know about yoga, but how can one laugh at abortion?
How can one laugh at abortion? He says he's looking at abortion. You're taking the view that it's bad.
Well, how can one laugh?
Well, how can one laugh at abortion?
I'm not saying you have to. I said you are not to laugh, means you laugh at silly, stupid things, I mean, you see. But at abortion, as I can't understand, you see. This is a very funny situation in this country, as it is the birth rate is minus and you are having abortions.
Does it exist in India, abortion?
Not much. People don't like it at all. They hate it. And you know, the trouble is like this. You people are having no children, so we have to have the load on us. You see what to do? Nobody to be born here. They don't want to be born here because there's no love in the heart. See, when other day somebody told me about the doctors here, that some of them are butchers, I couldn't believe it. Because in India, at least, doctors are not butchers by any chance. I was surprised. This is because everything has become a butchery here, because the heart is covered with ego. There's no heart left. We have to raise the heart. That's important. Once you raise the heart, you see, you cannot stand all this nonsense. You know, why do you want to have abortions? I still can't understand.
Madness.
It actually affects the Shwadhisthana chakra.
No, it affects many chakras. I mean, there was someone I knew who always used to catch on right heart. I must tell you this. Very nice person. Always on right heart. His father was a good man. Everything was fine. Asked him, how are you catching on right heart? He was not married. And when he came very close to me, then he confessed to me that I lived with a woman and she was going to have a baby and she went in for an abortion and I conceived. And since then I've been feeling very sad about the whole thing. But the whole view about life has to be changed. Then only you can avoid these things. You see, it is a symptom of a disease. It's not the disease itself. Abortion is not the disease, it's the symptom of a disease. Now what is the disease within us is that we have allowed our sex to be let loose completely. Talking too much about sex from childhood, what is the need to give education in sex? I have failed to understand. Openly, there is no need to teach about. You see, do the animals need any sex education? Still they produce. Then they told me they tell about sex only because they think by telling about sex they can protect people from not going into sex. I said no, they create too much of curiosity in children. For example, in India, we never talk about sex to children. They do not know, they are so innocent. Even till the marriage takes place, some of the girls do not know what sex actually is, how it works out and all. But they are told this is something filthy to do and all that, and when the girl gets into puberty, it is told, and to the boys also. You see, some or other, it is a very different society. That question doesn't come in, it never comes into the head of the boys and girls. If you keep them pure, I mean, like it doesn't come in the head of the sister and a brother, even today, thank God. In many sisters and brothers, I should say, despite Freud's all efforts to spoil your minds. But still, there are brothers and sisters relations today. In the same way, it doesn't come into their heads at all. And when they get married, they are to be told that this is what it is. And that's why they say these Konarak and all these places were built where they could take young brides and young people to see that. This was called as Kumarika temples, means the married women, when they were not virgins, could go there and see those places to understand what sex is. And you get so exhausted with this early sex life. I mean, you go into all kinds of tantrums then. Because you are so exhausted, then you go into perversions. The basics are wrong. We are trying too hard to be sexologists. There's no need to be sex points, you are that already. But you don't want to be in only sex points, do you? I don't know what makes you feel that that is the end of every every endeavor, everything should end up there. Maybe that advertisement and all this is coming to you too much because they think that by exploiting these things they will help you. But it's such a perverted thing.
On the other hand, would you swap your generative capacity for a radio?
Huh?
Would you swap your generative capacity for a radio?
What's it?
Would you swap your generative capacity, your capacity to reproduce and have sex, for a radio?
For a radio? Means what?
He's asking you whether it's a valuable thing to have, to be able to have sex. Is it valuable and has it a purpose?
It has a purpose to a point.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is another point.
He's supporting.
He's talking about in India, where they give a transistor radio for sterilization. You know that where.
That's what they try. This is also, you see, Western ideas coming to India. They did all sorts just to sterilize them. Oh, that's how the lady lost her election. Her last election, she is now pulled her ears for that. See, they are all westernized people, you see. They try all these tricks. People don't like it, you see. There's a bridegroom who went for his wedding, and poor thing saw that there was a team of people standing there for sterilization. So he jumped out of the bus and he disappeared forever. Nobody knows where he has disappeared. And they even sterilized people who were very old and who were not even married. You see, it was so funny. So indiscriminate. I think they were possessed by some booths. I don't know what to call them. You see, population is a problem in India. But what to do now? You should solve the problem. And there is something working out in a very funny way, I must tell you. I went to Colombia. I found lots of these Norwegians carrying Colombian children with them. And they looked so different, Norwegian children, Norwegian people and these Colombian children. I asked them, why do you carry these children? Where are you carrying them? They said, we have adopted them. I said, but why don't you produce your own? That would be better to produce your own. No, we don't want to go through the process of it. It's better to have ready-made. So the supply has started in all the developing countries to give you ready-made children. Isn't it funny? It's funny things going on. Instant babies.
Excuse me, Mother. If a chakra is blocked and you bring the flow out of that chakra, link it with other chakras, couldn't you be indulging in undoing a karmic pattern in that person they have to go through?
Very good idea, because I think
Just
you
repeat
people
the question.
I know the question is this, that he's saying that if you try to clean the chakras, you will be undoing the karmic cycle and all that. You see, this is a typical things that are being circulated in the West. You see, that you have your own karmas. You see, and we are the gurus, so you have to go through your karmas. You must suffer for your karmas. You see, like that is there. Now, this theory was all right before Christ came in, not after his coming. And why are they here then? Why are we paying them? For what? You better pickle them out. They are worth nothing, because they just take money from you and we have to go through our karmas. They make you dance, jump, go into all kinds of things, put spirits in us and say you are suffering your karmas. Why should we suffer? Actually, they should suffer for our karmas, minimum of minimum. No, Christ has done that for you. He has taken all his karmas, your karmas upon himself. He has made way for us. That's why you have to pass through him. Once you pass through him, through Agya Chakra, your karmas are sucked in by. That's your ego. It's the only ego that says you have done this wrong and that wrong. You see, an animal doesn't think that way. It thinks it's its own swabhava. It's the way it has to be. But it's only the human beings who think, I have done this wrong, I have done that wrong, I have done this good, that bad, because we have ego. But when your Kundalini passes through your Agya Chakra, your ego is sucked in, your superego is sucked in. Christ has done double job in one shot. It's great. That's why he was crucified. It was to. He took all your karmas upon himself and put it into hell. So whatever karmas you have done are all sucked in. But the door must open fully. In the beginning, it happens that only a thread comes up, you see. And the ego is not fully sucked in. So sometimes it still comes up and all that. The best weapon to get rid of them is to forgive others. Forgiveness is the greatest weapon Christ has given us, which we have to use. Forgive, forgive, and forgive. That's a very good way. Lord's Prayer is the solution for your Agya Chakra. You'll be amazed. You have to say Lord's Prayer after realization to open your Agya. Then you become thoughtlessly aware. After realization, again I say not before realization. It has no meaning. Before realization, whatever you have said has gone into karmas. Only after realization, you are baptized, you get an opening here, and all your karmas pass through that. Also, you will find when you get realization, lot of heat comes out. These are the karmas, you see, that are coming out. Let the heat go out, and all karmas are finished. It's like that. This is what is self-realization. Like an egg is in an eggshell, it's very different. But when it becomes a little chick and the mother breaks the tip of the egg, and a new bird comes out without any karmas or the smell of the egg. So clean and nice. Everything converted into something beautiful. It's like that. This is the rebirth. This is how we become a new personality, a new being. So forget about your karmas. after your realization. Alright? He has said it, that he died for your sins. Didn't he? And the wages of sin is fear. If you still have fear within you of your karmas, you are still sinning. There should be no fear about it. Do not have any guilt. I have been telling you not to have any guilt. What can you do? What sins can you commit? Do not have any fears. This is very common, as I told you the other day. Left Vishuddhi. I have to talk about it quite a lot. It's so common in Australia, in America, and in all the Western countries to feel guilty. Everything collapses there, and nobody can rise through the Agya because it collapses down here onto left Vishuddhi where you feel guilty. What are you feeling guilty about? And why did Christ come on this earth? You are just wasting his incarnation by feeling guilty yourself. He has taken all your guilt upon himself. What do you think he was? He was Omkara. He was Pranava. He was the word. He was that power. He is not attached to anything, but he can take away everything that you think is sin, because he is sinless. He is so pure, immaculate. Alright? Does that give you some hopes? Or still you are indulging into your own miseries?
Anyone else?
Talking about eggs earlier, what about diet? Can you give us some guidance?
Diet, alright. This diet theory is also coming from some horrible Brahmins, you see. Don't listen to them. They are the greatest Rakshasas ever born on this earth.
Means devils.
Devils. Rakshasas are monsters, you see. They eat like hell, they eat such a lot, and they always tell you don't do this and don't do that.
Don't eat sugar.
You can eat anything you like, except for don't eat the meat of animals which are bigger than you. I mean, otherwise you'll develop muscles, see, which will have funny contours and things. Eat animals which are smaller than, is the point is. And if you eat those animals, they do not also have much sense of compassion and all that. It's alright, they are just like vegetable sort of things. So it doesn't matter. You don't kill them. They are killed in the machine and all that. You have to eat that, and you need it. You have to eat. But that doesn't mean that if you are vegetarians, you should become non-vegetarian. It doesn't mean that. Whatever you eat, you can eat. It's not, eating is not going to change your spirit. Spirit doesn't eat. It does not. Makes no difference to the spirit, except that to your body, which is a lamp. So, if you have to keep the wick all right, you have to keep the lamp all right, and for that, don't eat anything that is a very big animal compared to yours. And cow's meat, for example, in India, they don't eat, because have you seen Indian cows? They're very gentle. And the cows are in the house, just like mother, they start giving milk to the children. They see every day they are taking the milk of the cow, so they develop a feeling, you see. And that's why they don't drink, you see. But it doesn't mean that if your Australian cows are, I don't think are like that, because what I have seen, they look like buffaloes to me sometimes. Like my granddaughter, she came to England and she asked me, grandmother, why the buffaloes in England are white? Yes, so it's all right, but you will come down on that. It will be different, you see. You'll see gradually, but don't worry about it. Gradually, everything drops out into very little things. You see, but you allow yourself to develop.
Eggs and things like that he was
Oh, eggs you better have, lots of it. But if you have liver, it's not good to have eggs. Eggs is very heating. Pork is otherwise good, but not good for the people who have liver problems. You see, you must understand, every person is different. Now, today I met a lady who is very left-sided. So I had to tell her, you eat pork, eggs, everything. You see, it is how you are. Even the Indian Ayurveda is like that. They want to know the prakriti, the character of a person, how he is. We have evolved from different types of animals. I saw the nocturnal ones. You see, the nocturnal ones must eat lot of meats. Those who have evolved from nocturnal side. You see, the left-sided, the ones who are afraid and frightened and who are not egoistical at all, you see, such types. They should take more meats and things, but those who are too much aggressive, better take two vegetables is better. Alright, now what's the question?
Does forgiveness stop the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer?
Sergio.
Does forgiveness stop the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer?
It does, absolutely. Absolutely. Sahajayoga is the thing that balances the society. Those who are poor become richer, and the rich understand that they must share. Willingly they start sharing their money. But you become really rich in a very miraculous manner. Now, there's a girl here. I would like her to tell you what happened to her. It's miraculous, but she's an Australian and she doesn't tell lies. You can see that very clearly, and she'll tell you what happened to her. Where is she gone? Sharon? Come along. Is she here?
Well, you can tell her, Mum. You can tell
All right. No, let us tell. It's better she's Australian, they'll believe her more. Huh?
He
You
says, "No,
don't.
we don't. You better
But
tell."
never trust an Indian. That's even worse.
We'll trust you.
You know, some of the gurus have introduced some Indian bhoots, Indian spirits into English people and Americans and also Europeans. And I find they behave like just like Indians, you know. They cheat, they embezzle, they'll take away things, not the women. They'll not touch the women, you see. But they'll touch the things, they'll take away empty cans. It's typically Indian, you see. It's rather surprising. Yes, there are some. I've seen them like that. It's surprising to see such things happening to a Western person who behaves just like an Indian. Must be some possession of bhoots put by these gurus. So, if you believe me, then I can tell you what she's told. It's really miraculous, very miraculous. Cheryl was telling me that she wanted to come to India and she had no money. So her daughter was very anxious to come to India, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't have sufficient money, so they just said, "Mother, we want to come to India. Can you arrange it for us?" That's all. And it so happened that this girl had taken a trinket she had in the house, a bracelet, to the school for a sale. I mean, they have their feet all over, so she took that for the feet. And the teacher said, "I think this is gold." She couldn't believe it. She brought it home and they got it valued. And they found that the price of the thing was equal to what they had to spend for both of them travels. But this is nothing. And then she got some money from somewhere in the house, somewhere, I don't know how, she got some money. And she didn't sell even the bracelet, and that's still there. She said, for the next trip, I said, I hope so, you sell it. May not. Like that, you see, things work out. Because your Lakshmi Tattva, your center of well-being gets enlightened. And then you are looked after. So many things happen. Like today, they told me so many things of this kind happening to them. And I too, you see, when these people came in, I had told them, all right, you give me so much money, maybe required for your stay. They're very little, it was very little for them to be there in India. You see, after all, India is also now becoming very expensive. And when I went to India, I discovered it has become very expensive. Doesn't matter. I said, I put it in the bank. I said, let it be there. And anybody asked me, no, let have it. You want it, have it. Now spend, go. And it was all right. I could manage. You see, that's what he did. And so many of them have done it. It's looked after. You go to right places, you get right things, you don't spend too much, you do not repent for spending, and you feel happy for whatever you have, you feel very joyous, not worried about counting. But if you make a budget, you had it. You don't worry your head about budgeting, how much you are going to spend. You'll be surprised. You won't go to things which are unnecessary, useless, but you'll buy something that is very good. And ultimately, these things will be very precious for you to sell. Many things have happened like that. Many things have happened. Yes?
Can you tell me why Australia is important for the future?
Why is Australia important for the future? Maybe about Shri Ganesh.
Only thing, I don't want to pamper the ego.
I mean, is Australia blessed
Very much.
for the oncoming wars and things?
Very much blessed. It's a very much blessed place. Specially created. Australia was the first continent to be created. And if I dare to answer this question, I hope you'll believe me and not get into ego trips. Australia is a place which is described in the ancient Puranas that a great saint was sent to Australia and another heaven was created. And that saint is called as Trishanku, which is your south, what you call that is the Southern Cross. That shows the Southern Cross, and you can only see Southern Cross from Australia. This is one of the Puranas, or the Vedas also have mentioned this. And even before that, Australia is the place which has the Ganesha. The first is the Muladhara Chakra. The first center is in Australia. How much wise you should be? Did you hear me?
She wanted your opinion about the Australian Aboriginals, the native people here that were born.
Oh, they must have been good people to begin with. I'm sure of it. They must have been very good and holy people and nice people. But I think later on they deviated because of too much jungles and things, They started feeling the fear of the nature too much. They must have worshipped things which were good to begin with, and later on to some things like spirits and this. Moreover, the dead bodies, the way they disposed of, must have been something wrong. So maybe they might have gone into a left-sided action, into primitive ways of exciting these bhoots and things, spirits and spiritualism and all that. But in Australia must be the minimum. In Africa is horrible. African countries have too much of it. But it should be the minimum of minimum. Because you see, Ganesha's chakra is connected with the left side. You see, is more on the left side, isn't it? So also one can go drift more onto the left side. That's what it is. And even today I feel there's a kind of a lurking inferiority complex that works in Australians. They try to copy the West. There's nothing to copy there. They have nothing sensible. They have to learn from you. You see, this is a little inferiority complex we have, that all the best things are in the West. That's wrong. You are much better off in so many ways. At least you have not lost your moorings. So, I would not pass a general remark about any community as such. But there is a possibility that they can come up very well too. I mean, they can get out of all that left-sidedness. In India also, we have big communities in the south where people have lived with too much ritualism and all that, and have taken to left-sided behavior of attracting, spirits and this and that, and giving those talismans and all that. They've done all that. They are doing, like witchcraft and witch doctors and all that. They must be doing it. But it can be cured. There's no problem. As the West people are overdeveloped and very ego-oriented and right-sided. Both are extreme cases, but you can correct. The people who are left-sided, it's easier because they have to move forward. But it's difficult for ego-oriented to move backwards. But if we can do that there, why not here? So nothing is lost, and one should not worry too much about these things. Human beings are just the same. Everybody has Kundalini.
इसी अवस्था में हम कुछ समय निशब्द ध्यान में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आपकी परम कृपा में हम सदैव सामूहिकता से जुड़े रहकर आपके श्री विराट और श्री विराटांगना स्वरूप के आशीर्वाद को प्राप्त करें। हम सदैव निरानंद अवस्था को प्राप्त करें। श्री माताजी, आपकी परम कृपा में अपने प्रकाशित ज्ञान से अनन्य भक्ति में उतरकर हम सहजयोग का प्रत्येक कार्य करें और उस कार्य को करते समय हम अकर्म अवस्था को प्राप्त करें। श्री माताजी, आपकी परम कृपा में हम सब प्रकाश बनकर इस विश्व का आध्यात्मिक उत्थान के मार्ग में मार्गदर्शन करें। कृपावंत होकर हम सबको कुशल संभाषण, दैवी कूटनीति, प्रभावी व्यक्तिमत्व और विवेक प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माताजी, आज का यह सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। कृपावंत होकर हम सबको और इस विश्व को आशीर्वादित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी को प्रणाम करेंगे और सामूहिकता में कुंडलिनी चढ़ाकर बंधन लेंगे। आज का यह ध्यान सत्र यहीं पर संपन्न होता है। जय श्री माता जी।